Hello and welcome to this week's Chamber Chat. I'm your host, Colin Diaz, President and CEO of the Culver City Chamber, and I'm excited today to be joined by Carmen Oliver and Gina Christian from SoCalGas. And I can share with you, SoCalGas has been a longtime member and advocate in the city and been a great partner, and we're excited to be joined by them today. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Gina to give a better introduction than I just did. So Gina, thank you for joining.
Good morning, Colin, and thank you to your chamber for hosting this. And my name again is Gina Christian. I am the food service technical specialist with the Southern California Gas Company Energy Resource Center in Downey. So my position consists of working with the food service customers, restaurant customers, commercial customers that come into the center that want to test equipment and work with our teams on various projects they're doing, recipe development, equipment development. We work with manufacturers and we work with rep groups. And my background is in culinary and education. And I also worked for quite a few years as a manufacturer's rep. So I have a lot of exposure to the equipment, especially the gas cooking equipment. And I've been there for 2 years, and I'm very happy to stay there as long as I can.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's definitely a very mental time in our economy, and it's interesting. Is kind of the heartbeat and undercurrent in our communities. A lot of times is our restaurants, and so I look forward to hearing more on what you all are doing, and would love to hear from Carmen now.
Sure. Hi, Colin. Thank you for having us. My name is Carmen Oliver, and I am with Southern California Gas Company. I work in our energy efficiency group in customer programs, and I specialize in programs and services for our food service customers. I have a background in mechanical engineering, and I have been with the gas company just about 19 years. And it's a great company to work for. I really enjoy the work that I do. And the fact that we're able to help this industry. And so I'd like to give just a really quick background on SoCalGas. So Southern California Gas Company, we are the nation's largest natural gas distribution utility. We've been around for over 150 years, and we manage over, we just had our 150-year anniversary just a few years ago, and we manage over 100,000 miles of pipeline to bring natural gas to almost 22 million customers across Southern California. And believe it or not, in our service territory, we have almost 37,000 restaurants. And so we have an entire department dedicated just to food service. And as you can imagine, our restaurant customers are very important to us. So we have programs, we have services just specializing in this industry. And that's what we're going to be talking to you guys about today.
Well, wonderful. So it sounds like between the two of you, you guys have a wealth of knowledge, a good amount of experience. The last 3 months, just about 3 months through this COVID-19 process has been severely impactful to the business community, particularly the small business and more so restaurants. What have you seen SoCalGas do, or what is aligned as far as resources for restaurants that they could look forward to coming out of the pandemic?
Carmen, do you want to handle that one, or do you want me to take that one?
Well, why don't we start by talking about the resources that we have for the Energy Resource Center? So,
sure.
Okay. So the Energy Resource Center is, as we mentioned, is located in the city of Downey. It's on Firestone Boulevard, and it's been there for, I think, close to 30 years. And the center houses 2 commercial kitchens. One is a state-of-the-art, fully equipped kitchen. The second kitchen is a ventilation and bakery lab, which houses 5 of our hoods from our hood manufacturers, as well as multiple brands of roll-in rack ovens that anybody in the baking industry would want to come in and use. At the center, we are one of the largest test kitchens in the nation, so we pride ourselves on what we have to offer to our customers. At the center, they can learn about energy efficiency, and we have a try before you buy program. So if you are looking to expand your operation, start your operation, or you want to get some information on the equipment that's available to you, you can come into our center, make an appointment. We can set you up with multiple pieces of equipment. If you're looking at ovens, griddles, ranges, we can set those up for you to test. Bring in your own food, you can do the cooking. We can also bring in the rep the manufacturer that represents that piece of equipment, and then we can also bring in the local rep group so that they can also assist you with the operation of that unit. We host multiple trainings and seminars, which are no cost to attend to the commercial gas company or the commercial gas customer. And there's various topics which you can get professional expert information on and training on. And we do things like natural gas combustion, ventilation and heating, water heaters, fryers, how to operate combi ovens, certain pieces of equipment like that. The center normally hosts an expo each year, which is a showcase for our manufacturers to be able to host their equipment, but it's been postponed due to what's going on currently, and we're not sure as to what date yet it's going to be hosted next year. We may consider doing it earlier in the year than later. Since the quarantine, the food service team and the vendor team have been working from home. We're not able to be out in the field, so we are staying in contact with our customers, our vendors, our dealers. The rebate program is still very active. I assist Carmen's team with the rebate program, and we've just been trying to be as proactive as possible. We're hands-on people. We're not ones that are used to sitting down at a computer. So this has been a huge adjustment for all of us, but we are available to customers to be able to talk to and get questions answered and assistance with their applications.
Well, that's amazing. As we've talked to a lot of restaurateurs, and they're envisioning changes in their kitchen, whether that be new equipment, different equipment, and to think that there's an area or a place they can go to test out, the try before you buy program. I've actually gone to the location in Downey, which is pretty amazing. So that's phenomenal. So you were mentioning they can set an appointment. I'm assuming they can go and do that online. Would the appointment be to test out the products, or for classes, or for both?
For everything that we offer is available on our SoCalGas.com/food service. And we've actually been working to update that site. So the information on the site is all current. The email addresses are current, phone numbers. So you can go to the website, look at the try before you buy box, and there is a phone number and an email which you can contact us, and we'll set that up for you.
Perfect. So Carmen, question for you. I know on the residential side, because I've lived in many places, why I prefer, but why do you think that restaurants prefer to cook with natural gas? What are some of the benefits?
Well, there are several advantages to cooking with natural gas for restaurants. One being that the gas burners will produce obviously a visible flame. And that's important because when you can see the flame, it makes it easier to control the cooking temperature. And so this gives the user more flexibility in going from higher temperatures to lower temperatures just at the turn of a dial. Also, having that flame allows for the searing of meats and of vegetables. And I think that we can all agree that seared foods are delicious. And they're also very popular menu items. So having that flame available when you're cooking is definitely an advantage. Another reason why customers would like cooking with natural gas is because the burners respond instantly when turned on. So in other words, they don't need to warm up, so to speak. So it takes a shorter amount of time to reach your desired temperature. And that means that restaurants can cook their food faster and they can get their orders out quicker. And then finally, cooking with gas is just cost effective. Customers' operating costs are going to be lower by keeping gas in the kitchen. And Colin, right now, saving money is really on the top of everybody's list.
You're 100% spot on with that one. That's feels like every company is kind of looking at how to reduce costs and try to drive revenue, especially when there's the unknown out there of even coming out of COVID. Is how comfortable are people, going out again? Are they ordering and online and having it delivered? And so a lot of the conversations we have with our businesses, particularly with restaurants, has to do with controlling what they can control. They're going to obviously take the protocols and the safety measures inside of their front, outside or outward facing, public facing areas, whether it be seating or entryways, but where they can save money and be more efficient on the back of house makes perfect sense. So question for you, Gina, as it relates to the Energy Resource Center, you had mentioned kind of the robust offerings that are there. Have you seen that adjust at all during COVID? And we're not hearing you for some, let me see if we can.
I'm sorry, that was me. I was on mute.
No problem.
Yes, I've seen a huge shift simply because we're not open right now and we're not able to offer them that on-site opportunity. But as the vendor team and also as the food service team, we're doing a lot of outreach and we are available for outreach. So even though we're not physically in front of you, we can have calls such as the one we're on right now. We can set up.
Yep.
We've been hosting webinars. We've done 3 already, one on preventative maintenance, one on reducing waste, and we held one on restaurant rebound, which was last week. So your chamber members, I'll send you a link when we're finished with some resources that you can share with your chamber members, and they can go back to the California Energy Wise website and they can sign up and they can listen to the video and audio from those seminars or webinars, and they can actually download all of the resources that are from the PowerPoint presentations. And then if they have any questions after the fact, they can reach out to us and we can follow up with them on that.
Wonderful.
Because the vendor team, with their outreach, and on the food service team, we sort of overlap, but then we also have individual opportunities and responsibilities out in the community. So we sit on a lot of advisory boards. We attend a lot of outside meetings. We do a lot of fundraising, a lot of sponsoring. So we're very active in the community.
So it sounds like you all were already out and about in the community and have pivoted to deliver more online programming and opportunities for your clients, which is awesome. Definitely something that's been challenging for a lot of businesses. So for Carmen, you mentioned why natural gas is great, and listening to what Gina's mentioned about the Energy Resource Center. What other programs and resources do you all have for restaurant customers?
Right, so in addition to our Energy Resource Center and our Try Before You Buy test kitchen, we do have other programs and services for our food service customers. One service that we offer is in our CSTs or our commercial service technicians. So our commercial service techs are trained to work on food service equipment, and they can provide services such as burner adjustments, calibrations, minor repairs to commercial cooking equipment. And there's no cost to have one of your restaurant customers contact us and have them come out and take a look at their equipment. And if anyone out there would like to request a visit from one of our commercial service techs, they just need to call our commercial service line, which is 1-800-GAS-2000 or 1-800-427-2000. Another program that I'd like to touch upon is our commercial rebate program. And with this program, Southern California Gas Company offers rebates to help pay for the cost of purchasing high efficiency equipment. And the reason for that is a lot of times the cost of buying the high efficient equipment is higher than if you're just going to buy standard equipment. So we want to encourage people to be as energy efficient as possible. And so these programs were designed to help bridge that gap and help keep the cost of purchasing equipment down and make it more affordable. So we have lots of different categories for our rebate program. We have rebates for ovens, all different types of ovens, combi ovens, convection ovens, conveyor ovens, rack ovens. We also have rebates for griddles, for fryers, for broilers, for dish machines, and for pre-rinse spray valves. We also have an instant rebate program where you can get your rebate right at the point of sale. So if you purchase your equipment from one of the dealers who have signed up on the gas company's instant rebate program, there's no application to fill out. You get your rebate right at the cash register. And, you know, we understand that just a lot of the restaurants are running on crisis mode right now. And so, you know, you might not be looking to buy a piece of equipment today. But, you know, in the future, you may have to replace a fryer. You may have to put in a new convection oven. So we want to make sure that our customers know that these programs are available. So when they are needed, we can take advantage of them. All of our applications, as well as a list of the dealers that are on our instant rebate program, and a list of the equipment that qualifies for our rebate program can be found on our website, which is SoCalGas.com. It can also be found on the California EnergyWise website, which is CAEnergywise.com. We also have an energy audit program. And like Gina mentioned, we're not making in-person visits at this time, but once the quarantine is completely lifted, we are going to be resuming our energy audit program. But basically, this is where we come in, we'll take a look at your gas use, your water use, your electricity use, and then we will provide the customer with a comprehensive energy audit, which gives recommendations for different ways that they can save energy and that they can save money at their restaurant. And you know, a lot of the recommendations that we make are low cost or even no cost items, just behavioral things that people can do to save energy. And then finally, we have our commercial direct install program. And with this program, we provide energy and water saving devices for small businesses throughout our service territory. So this program is not strictly for restaurant customers. This is for all small business customers. And but the majority of restaurant customers do qualify for our commercial direct install. So the way that this program works is an energy efficiency representative will contact you and make an appointment to come out to your business, and we'll make recommendations for installing some energy saving devices and water saving devices. And in this program, the devices are hot water pipe insulation, tank insulation, low flow aerators, pre-rinse spray valves, and shower heads. Although I don't think the restaurant customers will be needing the shower heads. But once we come out and make the recommendations, if you decide that you do want one or more of these measures installed at your facility, we will schedule a time to come back and do the installation. It's completely free for the customer. It's a great program. And so any small business who's interested in the direct install can call our 1-800 number, or they can go to our website, SoCalGas.com, and just search commercial direct install. And all of the information that you need to sign up will be on that information page.
Thank you. That was a wealth of information, and we'll definitely be sure, and on the back end of this, when we share the recording, that we'll put links for the websites and the phone numbers that people can call. So, as staying in the same vein of energy saving, and it sounds like you hit on a lot of them, but Gina, is there anything else you can add that restaurant customers can do to save on their energy bill?
Well, a couple of things that I can share, and this comes to from my years of working as a manufacturer's rep, and also my family was in the restaurant business when I was quite a little child. Things like running your fryers at the right temperatures. Fryers are a huge piece of equipment, and they're a huge category in restaurants.
Yep.
And running your fryers at the right temperature so that you don't degrade the oil faster. Purchasing fryers that have built-in filtration systems. There's an upcharge for that, but it also helps to maintain the integrity of the oil, makes the food taste better, uses less energy, and you're also going to be buying less oil. Oil is a pretty expensive ingredient that is used in the restaurant, and fryer maintenance is important too, because if you filter your oil on a regular basis, whether it's every shift or every few hours, depending on the amount of frying that you're doing, it's going to save your burners and it's going to save your fryer. Griddles, never ever use ice to clean your griddle. The griddle is a plate of steel that will warp when it is shocked with cold water or cold ice when it is hot. There's a great amount of resources out there as far as cleaning materials and cleaning solutions that you can use to clean your griddle, but also heating the griddle at the right temperature, because if you overheat it, you're also going to be burning off energy that you don't want to waste. If you have a combi ovens are built with built-in cleaning systems, which are a great feature because you can set your combi oven to clean, you can go home, come back the next morning, and it's completely ready to go. It does require you to use chemicals, whether it's a liquid chemical or a tablet, but the cleaning cycle is a huge advantage to also maintaining the integrity of your oven. When you're spending $20,000 or $30,000 on a piece of equipment like that, even though it is a multi-use piece of equipment, you want to maintain it on a regular basis. And there's also ways to lock out your staff so they don't manipulate the keypad to stop those functions also. Equipment maintenance is huge because it not only will save you labor and gas use, but it's going to also save you on the depreciation and the amount of years you'll be able to keep that in your kitchen.
Wow, there's about 4 items you just mentioned that I had no idea on. I won't admit whether I have or have not used ice on even the little griddle that we have, but I can promise in the future we won't. So I appreciate those answers. Going back to Carmen, so what sort of changes do you see restaurants having to make once they reopen? I mean, obviously, there's been legislature, or there's been orders and mandates that have come down from the county and now in various cities. But the conversation I have with a lot of restaurants is that there's just a lot that they have to do before they can reopen. What are you seeing and hearing?
Well, Gina actually just put together a webinar for SoCalGas called Restaurant Rebound. And so I'm going to let her take that since she is our resident expert on what's going on and what the restaurants need to do in order to reopen.
Yeah, perfect. And if you don't mind, Carmen has a couple of other points to share about how to save energy in the kitchen. So if we can expand on that a little bit about refrigeration and leaky faucets, and she can go ahead and add her spin to saving energy in the kitchen.
Okay, so so real quickly, in addition to the cooking equipment that Gina went over with the griddles, we can also, there's so many other pieces of equipment in our kitchen that we use for energy. One of the things that we can do is just make sure that we insulate our water heaters and our hot water lines. If you do so, your hot water heater is not going to work as hard as it needs to bring the water up to temperature, and so you're going to be saving energy. Also, don't close those refrigerator and freezer doors. Don't prop open those refrigerator and freezer doors. Make sure that they are closed after every time you use them. And I know that it is, seems very convenient to maybe put a crate there or something to keep the doors open to make it easier to go in and out. But it takes a lot of energy to maintain those cold temperatures. And so every time you open up the door, you're letting warm air in and cold air out, and your refrigeration units need to cycle more than necessary in order to maintain the temperature. So just make sure that they're closed after you use them. Also, leaky faucets. A leaky faucet here and there may not seem like a big deal, but you know, it wastes a surprisingly large amount of water. Just a small drip can waste 7 to 10 gallons per day. And you know, that really adds up. And so fixing leaks in your restaurant is just a quick and easy way to save water and to save some money. Also, making sure that you keep your equipment clean. Carbon and grease buildup makes your equipment work harder, which means you're using more energy and it's costing more money. So clean those refrigerator coils, clean your cooking equipment so it can increase the efficiency of the equipment. Also,
and you also want to think about the humidity in your kitchen. If your ventilation system isn't working correctly, it's going to put a huge load on your refrigeration, and it's also going to, it can suck out your gas burners, because if the makeup air on your ventilation system isn't balanced correctly, you're going to see a burner that either is not burning correctly or the right height, or it seems to be shifting from side to side. And another thing we're finding is there's going to be a lot of input on air filtration, making sure the air in the kitchens are clean. So your ventilation system, the filtrations, the filters and the hoods will have to probably be cleaned really well before you go back to open up full bore.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But the changes, as Carmen mentioned, the Restaurant Rebound has a lot of information. There's a lot of resources in there from Cal-OSHA, from the California Restaurant Association, from a couple of the big broadline distributors. US Foods has put together a really good reopening procedures booklet, the California Department of Health, and also the LA County Health Department. Now, of course, our service territory is in multiple counties. And your customers and your members of the chamber may have locations outside of LA County if they have multiple sites. So you want to use the California Department of Health guidelines as a basis, but you want to check with your individual county health department to see what their procedures and protocols are, because prevention is going to be huge, and protection and how you're going to initiate that. Creating a plan that you're going to expedite within your operation that's going to be a work in progress. It'll ever be changing, because you don't know how busy you're going to be at first. You may have new employees you have to train, so they have to learn your previous way of operating plus your new way of operating. Rearranging the dining room, removing tables, even if it is rearranging the operation in which you work in the kitchen. Your menu is going to have to change, because that's your driving force. You may not have access to all of your ingredients and all of your operational needs as far as the kitchen once you get started. So that's going to have a huge impact on what you're going to be offering to your customers. We know now with the new guidelines that restaurants can offer dine-in, but if you're a bar only that doesn't serve food, you're still not able to open. You have to have some type of food on a menu that you're going to be offering. It's going to be a lot of patience with yourself, your staff, your vendors, because you're going to need to reestablish yourself with your vendors. Hey, I'm open. Can I get a delivery? Can we set this up? Have your credit terms changed? You know, what's going to happen as far as payment? You know, so there's going to be a multitude of factors to consider, and it's all going to be have to be taken on a case-by-case scenario, because everybody's operation is different.
Very true. I'm glad you shared that. We've just actually released our Back to Business toolkit, and in it was the importance of every business forming their own plan, reaching out to vendors, reaching out to employees, you know, having the communication. What are they doing outwardly to communicate and market to their current and potential customers? And I think you've hit a lot of the nails on the head, and I appreciate you guys sharing a lot on the back end, which to the everyday person, they go to a restaurant and they have a dining experience and that's it, and they don't realize the headaches and the challenges and what keeps the restaurant owners up at night, and the line cooks. And so again, you guys have shared a great amount of knowledge, and I'm excited to share the contact information, whether it be websites, phone numbers. I hope in the future, in the next coming weeks, we can partner on doing one of the webinars. I had a chance to take a look at the PowerPoint that you shared. I think it would be great for our community, specifically for the restaurant community. So I look forward to that. But before you guys part, I wanted to see if you guys had either a parting thought or a call to action. I usually try to end these with one of those two for our listeners.
Well, can I make one more addition, if you don't mind? For
Please.
Those that are creating their plan, post your plan. I mean, not all the details of it, but post your plan within your restaurant so your customers and diners can see it. It gives them a reassurance that you're compliant and that you're considering their well-being, your staff's well-being, because you need them there to keep your doors open. But as far as my parting words would simply be is don't give up. The restaurant business is a labor-intensive, expensive business to be in. It can break up families, it can break up marriages and relationships, but it's a service that you're providing to people. Food is power. People like to eat. It gives them an opportunity for fellowship. It gives them an opportunity to share what they love with the general public. And I personally think that we're going to get back to a balance at some point. Our center is a education center and rare resource for you. And we don't want our customers to get scared. We're not going to turn off your gas. That's one thing for sure. And we are available to you right now, of course, by phone and by email. But don't give up. There's going to be a light at the end of this tunnel. We're not sure when it's going to be, but we have a lot of expertise. Our team is made up of educators, chefs, engineers. As Carmen shared, we have folks that had years of service out in planning, pipeline and mapping, food service technology and science, recipe development and control. So we've got a lot of expertise in our team that can help you with something that you may not have even given a thought to. So, and I want to thank you very much for asking us to do this and hosting us this morning.
No, the pleasure is all mine. And I think, as I said, you've given a wealth of information, and I think it'll only whet the appetite of our local restaurants and give us an opportunity to dive a little bit deeper and provide more good for the community. So with that, I'd love to hear if Carmen has any either parting thoughts or call to action. If you're a restaurateur listening there and you're chomping at the bit to reopen and going through your plan, what would you say is a takeaway that you have from this?
Well, first I would just like to say to all of the restaurant customers out there that we really miss you. We miss being able to go to a place to gather and to celebrate special occasions. I don't know if your family is like mine, but during this quarantine, we've had birthdays, we've had graduations, and going to a restaurant it's not just about the food. It's about this experience and being able to share this with friends and family and coworkers. So, there's definitely been a void that has been created through the COVID situation. So we can't wait to visit your establishments again and to support our local restaurants. So again, like Gina said, just hang in there. Definitely don't give up. And if any of your restaurant customers want to reach out to us, then they can do so by contacting us at our Energy Resource Center. And Gina's going to give you the information, but just for your viewers, it's area code 803-7323. And whatever it is that you need, if you need assistance with equipment selection, if you want to ask a question about commercial service technicians, if you have questions about our rebate program, please reach out to us, because we want to make sure that you get your questions answered, and we want to make sure that everybody knows the gas company supports you and that we are here for you.
Yeah. And for those members who are not restaurant owners, we do have offerings in green building and HVAC and boiler technician certification and air conditioning and water heating. So they can contact our WET division, which is Workforce Education and Training, and I'll send you Gary's contact information, because they offer a lot of classes, and actually they too are free, but there are certifications that are involved with a lot of their classes. So we're not just food specific. Anything that's gas, we have our finger in it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that, because it is true. One thing with the pandemic is that every industry, every business has to re-inspect how they do business, update, their facilities, if you will. So whether that be airflow, whether that be reducing costs and efficiency. So I appreciate that share as well. And again, Gina, Carmen, thank you for joining me today, and we'll be sure to share all the information and the links that you guys have provided, and look forward to fortuitously working together on a webinar in the future. So thank you both, and hope a good rest of the day.
Thank you, Colin.